Horizon gents, welcome to Suji Reaction. This is. Can you hear this right? Like, do you hear my words right? Because I'm pronouncing right. I don't know. I think it's like a mic issue or something. Comment down if you have like trouble understanding my words. Because people sometimes telling me like, oh, I don't understand what you're saying sometimes. Which is like, I don't know, man. I bought one of the best mic there is, one of the best interface there is. I don't know what the fucking the problem is. It's like, I know it's not me. I'm pronounced right. Like I hear, like when I talk to people in front, like they understand me fine. I don't know. Comment down. Can you understand me fine? Because I feel like the words are getting chopped off in the end. It's some kind of filter or something. It's not landing right, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe I'm speaking fast. I don't know. Comment down. So this is when A-10 Warthog rained thunder over Iraq. Probably 2000s, or is it like the first Gulf War? What is it? It's going to be interesting. I'm guessing it's going to be Gulf War things. I've been, like reacting to a lot of Gulf War related things recently. It's very interesting how like George H.W. Bush and how like he worked there, how everything like amped up from there. I still have like a Gulf War video in my list here. Desert Storm, which is I think is the same one, right? Or like Desert Storm from Operation Room. I'm gonna do that soon. This is my channel Yarnhub. Yarnhub is awesome. They're making video games, I guess now. And yeah, they're doing many things. All the follow and wishlist our game at Steam. Go to original video page link and support this channel. Let's go this one.
2003 and two A-10 Thunderbolts.
What? Oh, there you go.
It's the 6th of April 2003 and two A-10 Thunderbolt strike aircraft soar in the skies of Iraq near Baghdad. Flight leader Lieutenant Colonel Raymond Donk T. Strasburger and his wingman Captain Greg Billy Bob Thornton are on a reconnaissance mission in support of coalition forces on the ground. But the Warthogs can't see any of the action. A sandstorm has rolled in underneath them and engulfed the entire region. The two aviators circle above in search of breaks in the weather, but then there's an urgent transmission from the ground. It's not good news. Their friend, First Lieutenant John Coke Bloker, tells the pilots that Task Force 269 are pinned down under heavy fire at Methana Bridge.
They're using ray tracing. What engine are you using, man? I mean, if they can make game, yeah, of course they can make an awesome animation. I see ray tracing there. I see, or maybe they're just like, they're so good at editing, it looks like ray tracing.
Nearest position. The 1st Hammurabi Republican Guard Armored Division have T-72s firing across the Tigris River and shelling the Americans relentlessly. Americans are low on supplies and exhausted after many hours of battle. They can't hit back.
If the Iraqis cross the bridge, it's over for us. We need help.
Are you ready? Yeah.
The two Warthogs flip over and dive straight into the heavy sandstorm.
Damn.
Visibility is way below any measure of safety. On the ground, Iraqi infantry comes out of hiding and opens fire on the American troops. Coke ducks as bullets fill the air.
Duck! We need you now. I mean, right now!
Donk and Billy Bob can hear the gunshots and explosions in the background of Coke's transmission. Suddenly, the buildings of Baghdad emerge up ahead as the two flyers level out low over the city.
What a lovely day.
The Tigris River comes into view and they follow it north, racing for the objective, buildings zipping by either side. On the ground, Coke pulls out his rifle and starts returning fire at the muzzle flashes ripping like lightning through the haze. He relays increasingly urgent radio transmissions without wasting a second.
I confirm. No friendlies to the east of the bridge.
He's fighting two battles at once. Donk and Billy Bob approach at breakneck speed. As they listen to the transmissions from the ground, the outline of the bridge starts to emerge.
Break left.
Billy Bob pulls off Donk's side, giving his...
Oh, is this an actual game? Did they took it from the game? Because I like to play this game. Somehow the lighting and everything is just right, isn't it? Like his sun is going down, it's getting dark but not really dark. Look at how awesome it looks.
His leader space as the target area appears up ahead. The bridge is now in clear view. Donk pulls on his stick and flies over, a wave of jet engine roar breaking over the battlefield. Donk peers over his shoulder, searching for the target, but the ground vanishes into the storm before he can see a thing. He needs to mark the target so Coke on the ground can confirm he's in the right position.
I'm dropping a mark.
He selects his rocket pods armed with smoke ammunition as he lines up once again with the river and the bridge. This time, the Iraqi anti-aircraft guns are waiting for him. 23mm anti-aircraft cannons roar to life, sending columns of trace.
Oh, I think Warthog can take up to 20mm attack, right? Am I missing that? The Warthog's bucket that they created. Warthog is made in a way they can take damage, which is insane to me. This is like saying there is a bird who can take damage. They have hollow bones. They fly. Like, what the fuck is even that? So this plane is made in a way that they can take damage. So there could be bullet holes and shit like that, and they will still fly. Old planes were used to be like that, right? Old B-70. I saw the video from one of the channels how what was the name? Forgot. But B-17 flew without the cockpit and shit like that. Back in the day, there used to be giant holes in the plane. Plane somehow still flew. Imagine that shit happening today. Like any plane having that kind of hole. Like that's pressurized and everything. Nowadays, planes are so pressurized. That would never work. But A-10 is made to take damage. But I don't know if it can take 23mm guns though. I don't know.
In huge arcs through the air.
I mean, yeah.
A burst of fire narrowly.
You can't aim
misses the
otherwise.
jet.
We know that.
But Donk pushes on. He aims for the bridge's eastern base and pulls the trigger. But nothing happens. The rockets malfunction.
Damn it.
The bridge is coming.
Okay, you know what? I'm convinced now. I think American weapons are made in America, so they don't work in desert. That's what it is. I don't know. Again, American weapon is not working here. In the Desert Storm, I think, right? Like the original in 90s, the first war. Okay, F-15s couldn't attack, like Soviet plane. Why? Because none of the weapons actually worked. None of the weapons fired. Again, in here, in Iraq, weapons are malfunctioning. It must be the desert. It must be the sand that's fucking things up, right? It has to be.
Coming up fast, he sees the muzzle flashes of tanks and silhouettes of vehicles as he flies fast and low over the target. Without smoke rockets or time to think, he presses flare release button and dumps a line of pyrotechnics across the riverbank. He pulls hard to the right, skimming just over the buildings as he escapes the flurry of anti-aircraft fire.
We're getting AAA.
How is flare gonna
and I
help?
do see the tank. I request clearance in when...
Isn't flare supposed to be like stopping the heat-sinking missile, right? If a guy's physically attacking with 23mm, how is flare going to help? I guess it's something rather than nothing.
able.
Even through the storm, Cope sees the flares far in the distance. He knows Donk is right on it.
Donk, you're clear to engage.
Copy, clear to engage.
Donk turned back around, this time armed with real firepower. Iraqi AAA gunners frantically search the hazy skies for the source of the jet engine roar, as the menacing figure of Donk's Thunderbolt appears in the distance. The poor visibility makes aiming the hand-cranked guns extraordinarily difficult. Streams of tracers rise towards Donk and chase him across the sky, zipping by mere feet from his aircraft. But Donk is unfazed. He spots the enemy through the hail of lead, tanks and APCs firing across the river.
That is
He
insane.
sees a BMP charging for the bridge. Donk fixes his reticle directly on the target and pulls the trigger. The terrifying signature groan of the GAU-8 menaces the battlefield, reducing the personnel carrier
A-10 brrr, just started. That's awesome. Imagine the sound back then. Brrr.
to scrap. Donk soars just over the enemy as he pulls the nose up and turns west towards Allied lines, followed by columns of anti-aircraft fire.
I have tanks on the circle, Bob.
Donk's dash suddenly erupts with warning lights. He thinks he's been hit. Donk flies away from the action as he diagnoses his aircraft, testing the controls and checking his systems. The plane is flying normally, fuel isn't leaking, and the engines look healthy. The only thing he finds wrong is that the drop-compensated reticle has disappeared from his head-up display. He clears the master alarm and attempts to reboot the ballistics computer, but it's completely dead. Out of time, he clears his wingman to take his place. Billy Bob doesn't need to be told twice.
DMOP 7-2 in hot from the south.
He turns his A-10 down through the storm and lines himself up with the river. Battlefield becomes clearer amid the haze, and he lands the crosshairs on his first target he sees, a T-72 main battle tank. The enemy tank is slammed by a deluge of armor-piercing 30mm shells. Sparks fly, and in moments, fire begins, bellowing out the hatches. He soars above, escaping.
Not gonna lie, it's next level shit when you can pierce through a fucking tank. I know that's why it's made, but still, like, imagine that shit. Are you gonna use missile, Hellfire missiles? Nope. 40mm gun. That's what I'm gonna use. It's gonna just blow the shit up. Imagine from the ground seeing that, like literal like Gatling gun just firing insanely high speed and just blowing the fuck up.
The enemy fire, unscathed.
I got that sucker. He's running the west edge of the circle, boss.
Donk can't get the computer turned on, but he still has an old school crosshair. His aim might be off, but there are problems below and he can deliver 3,900 solutions per minute. He's got to try.
Going in.
I mean, you
Donk
can just
charges
aim,
into
I
the
guess,
scene,
if you're
tracers
experienced enough.
rip past his canopy, and several targets come into view. He lands his old school crosshairs above them and pulls the trigger. The cannon shudders into action with its terrifying clatter. 30mm rounds rip through the earth, and he rages past above, unsure if he's hit anything.
Cleared hot.
Billy Bob races south down the river, now on his second pass. With no new targets, he sprays a short burst into the already destroyed tank, before turning his aircraft upside down. Up close, the orange glare provides no concealment, and he sees an anti-aircraft gun, supply trucks, and another T-72 firing across the river. Billy Bob
That's
is
some
itching
next
to
level
tear
shit.
anti-aircraft guns to shreds, but
Okay, people don't, I don't know, like, I've never seen people talk about it, but fighter pilots are insane, man. They have to see all this shit in split second. People walk around nowadays and don't even have the awareness, environmental awareness that you need. Most time people are like, oh, I didn't even know that was there. Driving, like, oh, I didn't even see that. And they are trying to, like, in split second, trying to find tanks and anti-air guns and all, while also looking in front. Damn.
any one of those tank shells could claim the lives of the American troops. He can't think of himself. The tanks have to be destroyed first.
Hey, I got a second T-72 eastern position of the roundabout. Confirm I'm clear back in. You're clear back in.
Billy Bob prepares another pass, but in the meantime, Donk has his eye on fuel levels. They're approaching bingo fuel, the minimum amount they need to get back to the airfield. But they calculated on the ground before the specifics of this mission were known. Donk knows they can stay in flight for longer.
I'm recalculating bingo.
Donk checks the distance to the nearest airbase, doing the math in his head while guiding the aircraft through the storm. Meanwhile, Billy Bob is tracking the river for a third time. He now knows his targets. The area comes into view, and he's greeted by the now irritatingly familiar columns of anti-aircraft fire.
خذ المزيد من المبادرة تجاهها. مفهوم.
Billy Bob presses on, fixing his reticle on the intact T-72. The Warthogs' armor-piercing ammunition punches clean through the tank's weak roof. The T-72 explodes into a massive fireball as Billy Bob screams overhead. Up above, Donk finishes his calculations. They can lower Bingo by
this.
500 pounds of fuel and still make it to the nearest airbase on minimum.
Revise bingo down by 500. Copy.
Billy Bob adjusts his gauges and turns in for another run. Once again, he races up the river, ready to destroy the supply trucks next. He has no hope of seeing the single soldier on the roof, carrying a manpad, portable anti-air system. The missile launches off his tube and surges into the air. Billy Bob doesn't see it.
This is like, what is that? What is the equivalent to, like, there's a famous launcher, right? Not the one they give to Ukraine, which is different. It's for the, like, tanks, right? But the opposite. I forgot the name of that. Damn. This is like that. Javelin. There you go. It's like javelin, right? The one they give to Ukraine is different. It's supposed to attack ground targets, but javelin's supposed to attack something from above.
Coming. Hi, I'm David Webb, the narrator of this film and the head of Yarnhub. If you think films like this are important and you would like to invest in Yarnhub as a video producer and also with our move into gaming,
Oh, my bad, not Javelin. Javelin is the one they gave to Ukraine. No, I'm thinking about Stinger, which is anti-air thing, but Javelin is an anti-tank. So that's like Stinger.
now buy shares in our company. Please click the link in the description for the full details on how you can own a piece of our company and share in our future. The incoming missile tracks and then momentarily loses its target and flies right past his left wing. Billy Bob breaks right and abandons the run, escaping west into the Allied lines. His heart's racing. He was a foot away from death.
Are you alright? Yeah.
He pushes that to the back of his mind and turns around for another run. Once more, Bullets zip past his cockpit. They're getting close, but not close enough. The supply trucks come into view, and he pulls the trigger. 30mm fire tears them to shreds, their cargo bursting into flames as Billy Bob escapes the scene.
Got the trucks. Copy, I'm going in.
Donk sweeps in for another run. Still without a ballistics computer, he instead selects a Maverick air-to-ground missile and opens its camera on his multifunction display. He needs to select his target, but with the terrible conditions, he can see nothing through the camera. He has to be fast. The target area comes into view, and with it comes the anti-aircraft fire. He holds his course. The targets appear on screen and are approaching rapidly. He quickly moves the selector over to another BMP and launches the missile. It rockets off the rail and makes a sharp turn downwards, slamming into the BMP from above with a burst of flames. The Iraqis are taking heavy losses. Pinned below the oppressive watch of the Warthogs, they pull back from the riverbank to hide amidst the buildings. The American armored forces see the shelling come to an end. Lacking fire support, the Iraqi infantry attack in the rear also starts to retreat.
The enemy's pulling back. You're doing a great job.
Relief lifts the pilots, but it's interrupted by the flashes of AAA flying through the air.
Bob, one more run and we have to RTB. Let's take these guns out. Hell, it's about time.
Billy Bob turned back towards the target area, his attention set on that one AAA battery he saw at the beginning of the fight. Billy Bob aligns his reticle and fires. The anti-aircraft gun is torn apart. He turns back west over Allied lines, and through his canopy he sees a column of tracers, barely missing his wingtips as he beats a retreat. Up above, Dunk spots that second AAA gun firing right at his wingman.
D-Mob 7-1, coming in from the south.
D-Mob, this is Advance. You're making battalion and company commander really happy right now.
احصل على المزيد إنه أمر.
What?
You could continue to do that as much as possible. I understand you're taking AAA, so
He knew he was
be
gonna get
safe
shot.
up there,
Damn,
but
okay.
As much as you can roll in on those targets. You're good. Good hit.
What the fuck? Is this real? The guy said, give me more ammo and just make sure. But then again, if you know, why not just run to safety yourself, knowing like the plane is coming, you won't be able to do anything about it? I don't get it. Like what? This is next level, man.
With a devastating burst, the second gun is turned to scrap.
Go, quarter bingo. How copy?
Copy that. Second flight of Alpha 10's incoming. Guys down there send their regards. Good work. When I see you back home, drinks are on me.
Copy that. Good luck.
This is so fucked up, man, because that doesn't matter your politics or geopolitics or what is right, what is wrong. Iraqis are trying to defend their own country. Doesn't matter who's in the top of it, if that guy's wrong or right. The people on the ground is just like, oh, America's attacking, we have to defend, and yeah, this is just insane. Yeah, A-10 so overpowered, man.
Down there.
Donk and Billy Bob leave the scene after 40 minutes of grueling battle. Thanks to their efforts, Task Force 269 suffer minimal casualties and no loss of armored vehicles. Raymond Donk Strasburger and Greg Billy Bob Thornton were both awarded the Silver Star for their heroic actions and incredible airmanship in the most challenging conditions. John Coke Blocker, an A-10 pilot himself, would be awarded the Bronze Star and the Air Force Commendation Medal of Valor. They all survived the war, and we hope they enjoy this film.
We did
Yeah.
what we could, but it wasn't enough. Just like in 1991 when our MiGs intercepted and almost shot down F-15s.
Wait a minute, that's the same one I'm thinking of, right? But I don't think I watched it from Yarnhub. Where MiG-29s ambushed and F-15 Eagles weapons didn't fucking fire. That pissed me off. F-15 and MiG-29 is not a good comparison. F-15 is overpowered. Should have just run through MiG-29s, but yeah, weapons didn't fire. That kind of pissed me off, man. I'm such a F-15 fan at the level where people get pissed off, like stop talking about F-15, and that shit kind of pissed me off. Alright, well, that was an A-10 Warthog. Like, that's insane. Like, Warthog is so overpowered, right? Like, people don't give enough credit to Warthogs, man. How they can just, like, single-handedly destroy everything, but people can just stand and watch. The level of damage it can take is insane. And yeah, it's about to retire, right? Or it's already retired. I don't know, but something like that. That's something. Alright, well, if you like my next one, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.